First item is the attendances, which are on the list on the participants. Second item, the only item we've got to consider is an application for a new premises license. Chicken and Pizza, 8 Chester Road, Stretch. And so it's a new premises license for a hot food takeaway. Mr. Alkalam?
Yeah, he's actually my uncle, and my name is Muhammad Irfan. We go family business.
Okay.
So I'm in the meeting here.
Okay, so you're Irfan?
Yeah, Muhammad Irfan.
Muhammad Irfan?
Yeah.
You're speaking on his behalf?
Yes.
Okie doke. Right. I'm Councillor David Jarman. I'm chair of the licensing panel, and I've got Councillor Thomas and Butt, who are the members of the panel. We have a legal officer, a licensing officer, and a democratic services officer, and another officer who's just observing the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay to proceed. Right, so what I'll do first is I'll ask our licensing officer to outline the application, and then we can ask him questions if we need to, and then I'll ask you to speak, and then any representers will speak. Well, be able to ask you questions, and then they can put the representations. Okay. So we're all clear about how we're going forward. Okay.
I think Councillor Walsh has got a question, Chair.
Yes, Councillor Walsh.
Yeah, can I say that noise buzzing in the background? I can't hear properly with it. When you were speaking, your words were disappearing. Can we do something about this?
Has somebody got something? Mr. Irfan, you haven't got any drilling going on in the background.
So you going on it very good?
There was some drilling or something going on in the background. Is that at your end?
Oh no, heater up, turn off now. Yeah.
Okay.
Now is okay.
We don't want any background noise, so we can all hear each other properly. Is that okay?
Actually, it's heater, so that's why.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Walsh.
Chair, can I see the? It's normal. I can't actually see the applicant. Are we conducting a meeting with just using the applicant's voice?
Well, we can do. He's not got his camera turned on, but I don't think it's an issue, really.
You don't believe that's an issue? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, can I ask the legal officer?
No.
It's quite acceptable for the applicant to have his camera turned on.
I'm sorry that you've got quite a bit of an echo as well, but no, there's no issue with him having the camera turned off.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. Kieran.
Chair, can I have it recorded that I do feel uncomfortable that we can't see the applicant's face? It may be legal that we can conduct the meeting with just the applicant being able to speak to us, but I really don't think it's in the spirit of the meeting that the applicant has his camera switched off. I really don't think so. I'd like that minuted, Chair.
Mr. Irfan,
yeah,
you've got a problem with turning your camera on.
I did turn off. Shall I try? Let me go the option.
Would you like to turn it on? I mean, would you be happy to turn it on?
Yeah. Let me check which option I go.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Start video. Which option I go? 4 options coming here. I did turn on camera off, to be honest. Before is fine. So, yeah, now okay?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers. Okay, right, we're happy to proceed now. Mr. Hinchcliffe, would you like to outline the application performance?
Of course, yeah. So my name's Kieran Hinchcliffe. I'm the licensing officer at Tropic Council. Application for a grant of a new premises licence under Section 17 of the Licensing Act 2003. Outside Cat Chicken and Pizza, 680 Chester Road in Stretford. Under
Yeah.
Section 18 for applicant, I'll just, if I can, I'll just go through this this report. If I'm able to, I'll just put the mute on for all participants. It'll take a bit of time just to go through, and then
No worries.
Natalie, are you able to control the mute facility or share?
Yeah, actually, I go is not my first take. Where I go, couple of takeaways.
Okay. So I'm just going to go through the particulars of the report, and then the chair will take control of the meeting again. So the under Section 18 of the Licensing Act 2003, members are requested to determine this application for a new premises licence at 680 Chester Road, having regard to the representations that have been received and the requirement to promote the 4 licensing objectives. The following options are open to the licensing subcommittee this evening. You can grant the application in full on the terms and conditions contained within that application, and to include any applicable mandatory conditions. You can grant the application as above, but modified to such an extent as is considered appropriate to satisfy any relevant representations and promote the licensing objectives, or you can reject the application in full. A premises licence is required in respect of any premises where it is intended to conduct one or more of the 4 licensable activities, these being the sale of alcohol, supply of alcohol in respect of club premises, regulated entertainment, and of course the provision of late night refreshment. The application was submitted by Suhail Musa on behalf of Mr. Mohammed Aslam in respect of 680 Chester Road. The applicant initially applied for the following hours, and that was late night refreshment from 2300 hours till 2 AM, Monday to Thursday, and Friday and Sunday would be until 4 AM, opening hours to match. That application was properly made and all the procedures were correctly followed. The application included an amended operating schedule, and that was attached as Appendix A as part of the application. Photographs of the blue notice in place and copy of newspaper are also included as Appendix B. In terms of the background and history of the premises is not currently licensed, and the applicant has described the premises as a hot food takeaway. For the operating schedule, that's completed by the applicant and contains additional measures to illustrate how they propose to promote the 4 licensing objectives as required by the provision of the Act. They're listed below from 3.1 downwards, and they'll be attached as conditions to any licence as may be granted. Chair, I'd like to take your attention to the licence condition number 8, which says no deliveries or collections relating to licensable activities at the premises will take place between the hours of 4 AM and 11 o'clock. I mention that only because there's a contrast or a conflict in hours now in terms of what the applicant has agreed as an amended application at the times, which we'll discuss later on, and what the times actually appear as in that particular condition. So you may want to consider condition 8 to match those hours up. Okay, so following the consultation, the council's environmental health officer, the application was further amended to remove hours for outdoor late night refreshment, and also the following hours were agreed. This is attached as Appendix C to your application, and the amended hours are 2300 hours to midnight, and that's for both the late night refreshment indoors and for the opening hours. So 7 days a week is what's been applied for, with no seasonal variations, and it's 2300 hours till midnight for late night refreshment indoors only. In terms of the consultation, the responsible authorities were included. They are Great Manchester Police, Great Manchester Fire and Rescue. They're all detailed and listed in 5.1. Now, of those consultees identified, one representation was received from another person, and that was Councillor Lawrence Walsh. He's concerned with fly tipping at the site and the hours that were applied for. Councillor Walsh outlines his grounds for concern under the licensing objective of the prevention of public nuisance, and he requests the subcommittee to amend the hours to 2300 hours to midnight on Saturday and Sunday only. And he also seeks the assurance of a robust waste removal policy. That representation has been attached as Appendix C. The representation, as mentioned earlier on, from the Pollution Control Authority, they're a responsible authority, and that's attached as Appendix C. That representation was satisfied by the agreement to amending the hours of opening and the late night refreshment indoors only to 2300 hours to midnight, 7 days a week. A copy of the report and representations received has been sent to the applicant, and those that have made representation have been informed of the date and time of the hearing. In terms of legal considerations, finally, Chair, conditions may only be attached to a premises licence where they are deemed appropriate for the promotion of licensing objectives. They must be proportionate and not duplicate any existing provisions contained within other legislation, and a justification behind a refusal or the attachment of conditions must be given to the applicant. There is a right of appeal to the Magistrates' Court for any decision that's made from following being notified from the decision of the licensing subcommittee. That concludes the outline of the report, Chair. I'm happy to take any questions from you or any of the members.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hinsley. Does anybody have questions of the licensing officer they would wish to ask? No? Okay. Okay, can we,
Sorry, can I ask a question, please?
yes?
Yeah, it's just to do with the hours. Are these hours similar to what they are on the other very similar kind of takeaways neighbouring on that front row?
I believe there was a check by one of my colleagues, a licensing officer there, and they proposed similar hours. There was only one other premises that was identified in the area, being Harry Ramsden's, which I know is some distance away. We don't have any details of any other premises there. Is there any you would particularly want me to check?
How quickly could you do? I mean, it'd be good to have an idea of what the our operating hours are for the other similar kind of outlets in that particular block.
You're more than welcome to bring in your own, area knowledge and local knowledge of the area. But in terms of like the council's policy, the council's licensing policy is for each application on its own merits. So you do need to focus on the individual application. We don't have like a broader policy for certain hours for certain premises. So there's not necessarily like a box for it to fit into, although that may make some level of common sense. It's not a policy of the council. We're more directed to dealing with each application on its own merits there. So particularly what the concerns of the area has been raised by Councillor Walsh, and how that contrasts with the hours and the conditions that have been applied for this evening. That's what your remit this evening is for.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Officer?
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can, yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Hinchcliffe, can you just explain those operating hours to me?
The hours, yeah. So originally the applicant applied. So there's a chronology to this application as it's come in. So there was a submission from the applicant, and what was applied for was 4 AM on Friday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then 2 AM Monday to Thursday. So that was what was applied for. We have a statutory, as you know, we've got a 28-day statutory consultation period. You responded as another person. We also had a response from the council's environmental health, that they take up the position of a responsible authority. Now, from contact with the responsible authority, the applicant has amended the hours that they were applying for. So what we're now considering is the hours from 2300 hours until midnight, 7 days a week. So the application that you've now got, I know it started out in contrast to that, but for this evening, you're considering 2300 hours until midnight. Of course, in terms of the representation that you submitted, Councillor Walsh, your position was it should be 2300 hours to midnight at the weekend only. So there is still debate to be had and views to be put forward.
You okay with that?
Thank you for that, Mr. Hitch. Can I just talk a little bit more, Chair? When we're talking about late night refreshment from 2300 hours to midnight, what are we talking about there? What's the difference between that and the operating hours of 11 in the morning till 12 o'clock midnight? What's that 1 hour late night refreshment? I'm trying to get to what that detail is.
Kieran, you?
The detail. So from the only part of this, the only actual remit here that's actually licensable is late night refreshment. Late night refreshment is the sale of hot food or hot coffee. So they've described their premises as a hot food takeaway. Perhaps the applicant can expand on what types of food they sell, but you know, for all intents and purposes, this is the takeaway, a late night takeaway. So the scope of the Licensing Act 2003 is that if they sell hot food after 11 o'clock, then that's licensable, and they need an authorization through the local authority to carry out that activity. And in getting that authorization, they have to satisfy the licensing objectives, which are the prevention of crime disorder, the prevention of public nuisance, public safety, and the protection of children from harm. So that's your scope. Throughout this meeting, we're happy to clarify it, re-clarify it, and then the decision maker, the elected members who are the decision makers, they can draw upon the actual legal advisor following the end of this meeting.
Thanks for that. Thank you. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so we've actually agreed with the Environmental Health Officer less hours than you were asking for, in effect. So hopefully that will satisfy the hours situation. So is there any more questions for Mr. Hinchcliffe, or can we move to the applicant, Mr. Irfan? Is he there?
He's on mute.
Mr. Irfan, you're on mute. Hello? Mr. Irfan?
Chair, just while he's sorting out his mute, it might be because our Democratic Services Officer put him on mute. Natalie, can you unmute him? But just a point of clarification.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Just hang on
Yeah,
a minute.
sorry, Bono.
Just wait a
Yeah,
minute.
sorry, say again what you say.
All I wanted to do was just a point of clarification on those hours. We have the Environmental Health have agreed 2300 hours till midnight, Monday to Sunday. So that's 7 days a week. The representation.
That means like 12 or 2.
And I'll answer that. Let me just say, so I'll finish these 2 points, and if I need to clarify, I will do. Effectively, it's 2300 hours, so 11 p.m. till midnight, Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week is the application before us now, because that's the hours that were agreed with the Environmental Health Officer, and that's what made the application. The representation that we still have outstanding from Councillor Walsh is those hours. The suggestion, the proposal in that representation is to limit the hours further from 2300 hours until midnight on the Saturday and Sunday, and also for a robust waste removal policy. Those are the two contentious issues at the moment. Does that match your understanding on behalf of the applicant?
Yeah. Actually, I just say to something. Actually, my go experience because it's not my first takeaway. I go already running 2 takeaway, which is Sun Talents and Vegan. So because basically that's you can heard about Sun Talents Council, but late night that both permission I go permission by 3-4 in the morning. So
Okay.
I do understand what requirement you need. So I don't selling any alcohol. It's no alcohol license. It's only for hot food. Yeah.
Okay, I think you're, if I just go back to the chair, are you happy? Is there any more questions from me? Are you happy with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we can move on to the applicant.
Okay,
Mr. Irfan,
Yes, sir.
it's your chance now to speak to your application.
Yeah. Actually, I
Your
just
application.
Yeah, I just need to say something because I go experience already. I'm running 2 takeaways already. So that's my third one. So they already, the other I go late nights, So I like appreciate if you know any issue to late night lessons, if you can do, please. It's no, I don't selling any alcohol. It's only hot food. I do, you understand? Only hot food, no alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we understand
Yeah.
that.
So I do they did they accept or you give me the after answer like 11 a.m. to till 12 or 11 a.m. to till 2 in weekdays, Monday to Sunday, but Friday, Saturday, 4. So I do order requirement. I go bins everything. I know how to handle it. So it's up to that's what I'm saying. So my side is everything is fine.
Right, so you've agreed the hours with the environmental health officer till midnight every day.
What? Sorry, I don't understand 2300 hour. Like it's mean 11 to 12 midnight.
Because that's all you need to license is from 11 o'clock, 2300 hours.
Okay.
That's when it starts, the licensable activity, until midnight,
Okay.
which is
I think,
agreed.
Chair, I think you might is probably not understanding the fact the hours they're being extended from 2300, 11 o'clock till 12 o'clock midnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what that's what you just said, isn't it?
Yeah, that's means 7 day 11 to 12. Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. So there no any chance like 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine. I understand you do 11 to 12, 7 days, but I need to request is any chance like 11 to 2 or no?
No, that's not what's been agreed.
Okay, that's fine. I'm still happy 11 to 12. Let's see after I can do application. Yeah.
Well, we'd have to put a variation in if you wanted to do that. Okay, so do you want to tell us a bit more about the operation? What sort of food you serve?
No, that's fine. I do understand if you, because all your requirement I can do like late night, but still what can I do because I go shop there anyway, I go lease, so I have to do business there, I hope they're on there. I see the Chester Road, more shop, they open late nights. I see some they still 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning around traffic park council, So
can you tell our elected members about your business and what you want to sell and how you're gonna run that business? You're obviously talking about the hours at the moment, but our members need a bit of an idea of what your business actually is, because you've already described it as a hot food takeaway.
yes.
So you just give them a bit more detail for your application. I'm sure they would value that.
Yeah, I'll go the takeaway in, you want to address my new other takeaways? So if you need dress, because I do already late nights, I do only hot food like chicken and pizza. Food is only food selling, So deliveries, though, you can't open after 10 anyway these days, but only for hot food, chicken and fast food, that's it. Nothing else.
Right, so chicken and pizza. Did you
Yeah.
kebabs, things like
Yeah,
that?
we don't do kebab. Yeah, we do chicken, pizza, and doner. 3 things we do only.
And chips?
Yeah, chips, yeah.
Yeah, salad and all the usual trimming.
Salad, burger, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's only 4 or 5 things we do selling, so that's where I can't say any more things.
Okay, right. So I'll open it up to questions then. So if anybody has any questions. Does anybody have any questions of the applicant at this stage?
Yes, Chair, can I come in?
Yes, Councillor Butt.
Yeah, it's one that perhaps Councillor Walsh was raising, you know, about the waste. What actions do you expect to take? I mean, leaving out the other takeaways you've got in other boroughs. I mean, obviously, Trafford has got high standards, or we try and maintain high standards here. And we just want to know, well, certainly I want to know what your intentions are on how you are going to manage the waste in that area, you know, which just comes from you there. So, or you know, people that perhaps frequent that place. Are you able to tell us?
Mr. Irfan?
Oh, sorry. Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, we go,
Waste in the litter.
the general waste, we got 2 bins in the back. We contract with Very Draws. They come every Friday morning. They do collections. We got 2 big bin in behind my shop. So every night, whatever rubbish we put there. So every Friday morning, they collect from us.
And are they full, or is
Not
it
depend.
sufficient?
No, it's not full because depend on the business. Is it quite or busy? But I don't think so. It's 2 bin gonna be full because one they do general waste and one they do just paper and cardboards. So I don't think so. They every week they're full. So every Friday morning, doesn't matter they're full or they half. They have to collection every weeks.
Are they collected from the front or the back?
Actually, Thursday night I'm gonna move in the main road, you know, right side. So they can pick from them there. It's a alleyway backside. So
Yeah.
my door I can open and I can put on the side. So they every Friday morning they pick from there. So then when they go, then I bring it back inside.
So the back street's not going to
Yeah,
be.
back street. Yeah, back street.
So it's not going to have any food, rubbish there, or
No. Because it's the bin in it. So they move the bin there.
Right.
Or rubbish, whatever is 1 bag or 2 bag, straight we put in the bin. We don't put on the side or anywhere alleyway. No.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
So
Thank
you're currently open at the moment, are you? Without
Yeah.
a bit of a late license? Yeah, so you're
No,
actually running as a business at the moment.
Yeah, we close 10 o'clock because it's, you know, it's locked down. So 10, 11 o'clock we close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So at the moment that bin collection once a week is sufficient, is it?
Yeah, once a week, yeah.
Right. And what about litter outside or in the alleyway? How do you deal with that?
Sorry, dear one, say again.
Or litter, if customers, it might not be from your shop, but if people drop pizza cartons and chip paper.
I don't think
outside
so
the
that
shop.
anybody drop there because my bin is in my inside of door. I go private door there. So we open only once when we put out, then we lock the door. So I don't see any rubbish in the alleyway.
So there's none in the alleyway and none
No.
outside the front.
No, sir.
Okay.
Right, can I come in, Dave, when you're free?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Mr. Irfan, I've got a couple of questions for you. First off, you've just mentioned about bringing your bins out from your back alley and putting them on the main road on Thursday night for them to be collected on Friday morning.
Yeah.
That concerns me, as people could tip them out, damage them, acts of wanton vandalism. Would it not be better and perhaps better for the street scene to take your bins out on a Friday morning?
Yeah, that's fine. That what can I do next time? I can speak with them. I go contract with Very Draw, so I can tag them, please. Because it's door open. Because I tell them they can do the self take out and they put back. Yeah, that's can do. I don't put any more night. Yeah,
That would be better, I think, from my point of view.
No worry.
Also, Councillor will ask you about litter from people that come into the shop and buy food from you. What have you put outside for your customers? If your customers go outside, the residents around your shop and in the back areas don't want them disposing of the litter on the floor, so it blows all over their estate and where they live. What would you do? Do you go out and make sure that your litter from your food stuff is collected and either put into the public bin or put into your own bin, or do you not do that? Does that not concern you?
Because to be honest, because if the customer coming inside, we go next door Subway,
Mhm.
and we go all 3-4 shops same like for takeaway. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
we go
appreciate that.
3-4. We got 3-4 bin in front of my shop. I can see 3-4 bins there.
Mhm.
So I don't think so. The customer gonna be put in the floor. So they put in the bins.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, would you maybe beneficial to have a check? I would hope that Subway and all the others are mindful of people that drop litter. Finally, regarding the license, you've mentioned a couple of times that Friday and Saturday you would prefer till 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, you agreed, or the license has been agreed, or with the licensing officer to 12 o'clock, and that's been agreed. At this meeting now, you're asking or saying that you'd prefer it to be 2 o'clock.
Yeah, just
No, that isn't at this meeting. I don't think that this is going to be an
Okay.
option for you.
That's
So
fine.
can we be safe in the knowledge that if it is a busy Saturday evening or a Friday evening, that at 12 o'clock you are going to stop serving?
Yeah, I've stopped serving because I got 12. I can't do after 12 minutes.
Well, yeah, I know that. I want to be sure that that if we say that 12 o'clock is going to be the hard fast rule.
Yeah, if it's 12, it means 12. We can do what we do 11:45 or half 11. If I'm very busy, I stop doing order.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Thomas. Anybody else? Councillor Walsh, have you got any questions for the applicant? Just questions at this
Yeah,
stage.
I've got no questions, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to make a representation.
Well,
Is it-
you will do after
Yeah.
this. If you got
Yeah.
just questions of what the applicant said, and then
Yeah.
you can say your piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on. Have you got questions? If you haven't, we can just go straight onto you. Unless there's any more questions for the applicant, we can just go straight onto your representation. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Right, we'll do that then.
okay.
Carry on.
Can I say, Chair, that I speak out of frustration. For many, many years, myself and the residents have seen fly tipping at the rear of those shops at Chester Road. And it's no little matter. And the council must have spent a lot of money removing litter over the years. And if you've read my representation, I'm sure you have, people will say it's not my litter. And the premises and the businesses will say it's not my litter. But the litter is there. The litter is there very, very frequently. And I would rather see a robust document stating how the applicant is going to remove his litter. And I don't doubt his good intentions, and I want his business to be a success. But with respect, Councillor Thomas had a question, and he changed his policy there just by talking to him. Now, I need to see, and the residents need to see, a document that states how waste is going to be managed. Do you know? Because that document is going to be treated with respect and is going to be adhered to, and it's available for residents to see. And I don't feel that the applicants, despite his best intention, doesn't give me that confidence that he's got such a document. And I'm wondering whether under our licensing regime within the council, whether we can ask for such a document, a robust document that states how waste will be removed. That is litter at the front, because people will throw litter on the floor. There'll be times when they don't throw it in. And we do not have street cleaners at 12 o'clock at night. And litter that accumulates in the rear, how will that be removed? Because litter will find its way there. And the general collection of the applicant's waste material, how that is processed, what time the bins go out, keeping a record of that taking place properly. So can we ask for a document that states how waste will be removed?
Well, we can make it a condition if we have a mind to. There's not very much in the operating schedule, only about is waste being taken away once a week, which we know about. But you can make it a condition. Kieran, did you want to come in on that?
Yes, Chair. On the council's statement of licensing policy, the council's produced model conditions. At page 151 of that statement of licensing policy, there's a subheading which is litter and cleansing, and at 90 it details some form of condition that could be suitable. Reading it verbatim, it says at specified times, specified areas outside the premises, including specified areas, must be swept or washed, and litter and sweepings collected and stored, and then you can specify storage and collection. So, and then it also goes on at 91, for all takeaway packaging and wrappers shall identify the premises by way of a company logo, name, and some other model conditions for litter and cleansing. So you do have scope there. Alternatively, you also can have scope to demand something of the applicant if it's not been presented for you. We've obviously not received anything so far.
Okay, can I just ask the app? What?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, sir.
Sorry. What time is your refuse collected on the Friday?
The morning about, I think I see. I can't mention the time, but I think the early morning, 10, 11, I think so.
About 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Walsh, did you have any further questions?
Chair, I with respect, I don't see the applicant's answer as maybe 10 o'clock as a robust statement on how waste is going to be removed. I have to say that, and I emphasise to everybody in this meeting, and I'm sure you're aware of it. We are talking about a premises that are very, very close to Manchester United's football ground. And no doubt the licence officers will tell me that it's got nothing to do with it. But the residents at the rear of these premises have had to put up with a lot of antisocial behaviour for many, many years. And it got to the stage where the alleyways are used as a toilet on occasion. And the residents are very, very frustrated by that. And they do not want additional problems caused by new businesses. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's fair on the residents for us to ask them to put up with any more convenience. And so I ask again for the committee, if I've not asked before, can we ask the applicant, we can, if you like, grant the application tonight with a proviso that it gives us a document which is has robust statements in it that say how his waste will be removed, that are accurate, that are logical, and that will be adhered to. And they will be able, the residents will be able to view them if they needed to be. I don't think that's unreasonable, Chair. And we need to talk about the fronts. I say again, Councillor Thomas mentioned, people will throw litter in the street. I don't think it's reasonable for litter that's it's not the applicant's fault. His customers throw litter in the street, it's left there and it's not picked up. There's plenty of businesses I know who send somebody out with a sweeping brush and they sweep up when they're closing. They take all that litter that possibly they've accumulated, their customers have accumulated while they've been open, to leave the place clean.
Okay, I mean, we can take that on board with the conditions. We can have some robust conditions. So I can't preempt the discussion, but we'll certainly be discussing that. So we can deal with that on the conditions.
Can I continue, Chair? Can I continue?
Please.
I have a suspicion that there'll be people turning up at the applicant's takeaway, the worse for wear. They'll be intoxicated. Has the applicant produced a policy on how he will deal with customers like that? It's not the applicant's fault. But people will turn up intoxicated. Does he understand how he's going to deal with that? Have we got documentation to say how he's going to do that? He's got plenty of experience. I'm sure he knows what to do. I'd like to see some documentation around that.
Right. I'm just trying to see if there's anything in the operating conditions.
Can I just ask something of Councillor Walsh on this one, please? Councillor Walsh, you obviously chair planning, and when you approve applications and they've got conditions to do with removing things or how they're going to behave, and we get many of complaints from residents saying that, things are being strewn and they're doing that. Have they signed documents to say that they're going to be doing this, doing that? Can you just sort of...
I think if you produce a document, Councillor Butt, that says, for example, this is how we will deal with customers who are intoxicated, I think there's more of a propensity on the applicant to deal with it in that way. If we just say, well, we'll just sort it out on the night, that's a bit too vague. The location of the premises, close to the football ground, close to public houses, I think that's going to be an issue. And the background to it is that would cause disturbance for the residents, for the neighbours nearby. Yeah, can I just talk a little bit further? This thing with the litter chair, it's not just a case of the thing looking nice and tidy. There's a health and safety issue here. When you're walking about and there's litter all strewn out about the place, that's a danger. People slip on that, a tray, perhaps it's had a food in there that's greasy, very easy to slip over. In the alleyways at the back, I can tell you the litter that I've seen thrown there, and you can see the pictures. The applicant can look, he's welcome to do that. The pictures that I've taken in recent time, that litter constitutes a health and safety issue. And so I think it's not just the local council being fussy about litter. There is a health and safety issue, and families are entitled to use that alleyway as well. They're entitled to walk to and from the rears, but they can't do that when there's lots of litter and fly tipping that's taking place there.
So how often would you like to see the litter cleared up outside the premises?
I think the business needs to clear all its litter away every evening, Chair, every time it closes for business. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, it's probably just a typo, Chair, but in the application, the applicant wrote his address, but I didn't see a postcode in there. I'm presuming the applicant has given his full address. Perhaps we do that. It isn't produced for the safety of the applicant, which I can understand. But when I looked in his application, it gave his home address. It just said one line of his address. It didn't give a postcode or anything like that. Got his telephone number and his email, but we don't have his full postal address.
The postcode in Wigan. The postcode in Wigan's on his application.
Is it, Chair?
Yeah. It is, yes. I've got it in front of him. I think that's what you're referring to. So it seems that we've got that.
I think, just to help with that, I think it's because on the actual application forms, it gets separated out. So there's a residential address, and it just appears as one line. But then there's another couple of boxes that say post town and postcode. So it probably looks as though he's not completed it. But we do have, Wigan and WN4 9SE as a license holder. That's public information.
Thanks for that, Chair. I'll just finish on another point.
Excuse me, Councillor Walsh. Can I just eject on the matter of the application? There is a postcode for the Wigan address, but there's no telephone number for the shop on the front of that. Kieran, I don't know if that makes a difference.
It's really for the applicant to provide what contact number they want to provide. Sometimes we see it as the other way round, with wanting a contact number for an individual there. You'll note that because he's not selling alcohol, we don't have a designated premises supervisor. So generally it would just be the shop number. So to have a mobile contact number is probably better. If he wants to provide a different contact number, or if you want that of him, then we can definitely get that. I'm sure the applicant's not going to be having an issue with that. I'm sort of speaking on his behalf there. I do apologise.
Yeah, no, I just think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Mr. Irfan, do
Yes.
you have any problem with displaying your mobile phone number?
No, sir, you wanna can give it because basically somebody apply for me license, so I think he give his number, isn't it? Because he's dealing with the council, so that's why I give his number. You can take my number if you want, no worries.
No, but to display in the shop if there's any issues, or to give to residents, such as Councillor Walsh, if there's any problem.
Yeah, shall I give you my number? Or
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is
077
Yeah.
92
Yeah.
096
Yeah.
989.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Walsh, is there anything else
Yeah.
you wanted to say?
Yes, please. Chair, I'm grateful to Mr. Irvan for that. If the residents have got a telephone number that they can ring and raise any concerns they've got, that's it was very, very useful. I'm very, very grateful for that. There's lots of takeaways in Gorse Hill Ward, and particularly at the area where I live in Gorse Hill, some of the takeaways do stay open longer than the permitted hours. They've done that for a long time, and what tends to happen is one of the takeaways will stay open just that little bit longer, and then the takeaway next door will think, well, I'm going to lose business here, so I'm going to stay open that little bit longer. And so it gets into, there's a bit of a contest between how long they stay open for. And I just emphasised to Mr. Irvan that, and he did talk about that before, he understands that, but we don't want the takeaways going out, opening longer than the permitted hours. It just sets a trend, and other people seem to follow it, and just sets a bad example for the area. But thanks for his help so far, Chair, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay, point well made. Does anybody have any questions for Councillor Walsh? Right, okay. Can you just sort of sum up now? It's the time we ask the applicant and the representative to sum up, and it's the representative first, which is yourself. So just basically sum up what you're saying about the application, please, Councillor Walsh. And I know you risk of repeating
Yes,
yourself.
Chair, thank you.
In a nutshell,
I won't do that, Chair. I'll try not to do that. We want the best for the businesses. We want Mr. Irvan's business to succeed. That's what I want. I want people employed there and to do well and to provide a service. I'm sure I'll be calling in sometime for a takeaway there. That's great. My worry is we've had problems with some takeaways in the past, and I do feel that the residents in this particular area, they've suffered enough, and I want to look after them. I want that Mr. Irvan and the neighbours to get on like a house on fire. That's why I'm speaking tonight. So the things that I've talked about are to help that. A plan to pick up the litter. A contact number. I'm grateful to Councillor Thomas. A contact number for people to ring. If there are any issues, and that we keep talking. Mr. Irvan's always welcome to phone me, and I'm happy to phone him, and we work together for the betterment of the area. Because when the area improves, that'll be better for Mr. Irvan's business as well, and he will do better in a nicer environment. So he benefits as well as the residents. I'll shut up there now, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Walsh. Yeah, I think it'd be a benefit if you do swap numbers. You've obviously got Mr. Irfan's number. You can deal with that outside the meeting, obviously. Mr. Irfan, would you like to
Yeah.
sum up your application, please, in conclusion? Just say some
Sorry?
final words. Just say some final words about your application in conclusion.
No, that's fine. I'm I'm okay.
You're happy with that? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
then in that case, I'll ask Natalie to put us in the breakout room, and we'll make a decision on the application, and then come back
Thank you.
into the main meeting.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, sir.
Just hang on, and we'll debate it, and then come back with the decision if you want to wait on for that.
No, worry. I can wait.
Okay,
Yes.
lovely. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to grant your application subject to the hours that you've attended environmental health officer, but with a condition regarding the waste, which I'll,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so during the hours of operation of the premises, the licensed holder shall ensure that measures are in place to remove litter or waste arising or accumulating from customers in the
Councillor, Chair, can you just repeat that again? I think it's echoing. Maybe the applicant needs to switch his the speaker off.
Yeah, can everybody switch any background noise off? Yeah, okay.
There's no background noise, any.
All right then. I'll start again. If you're
Bra-
happy. Hello?
Yeah, can hear you.
Right.
Bra faisla sun.
Okay, I'll start again. During the hours of operation of the premises, the license holder shall ensure sufficient measures are in place to remove or prevent litter or waste arising or accumulating from customers in the area immediately outside the premises and near to the premises, and that these areas shall be subject and litter and sweeping shall be swept and litter and sweeping collected and stored in accordance with the approved refuse storage arrangements by close of business. So basically swept up and put in the bin before you finish for that night. So you will be written to with the condition in black and white, which is just basically a normal condition for any business. So you will be allowed your application till midnight every night, 7 days a week, with that condition.
Okay.
Okay, you understand?
Yes.
Okay
Understand.
with that. Okay, well in that case, I will close the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and wish you every success with your business.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay.
Have a nice day.
And you. Best of luck.
Bye bye.
All right then.
Bye.
Cheers.
ठीक है जरा हो गया बड़ा समय लगी मिनट कौन लगी
All right. Okay, everyone.